Anyway, all right, let's hop over to the next thing, which is a pretty interesting little interview that came out this week. And it was one of those things where it's like someone is further trying to push people to get onto the digital train that John's already very firmly on, that we all have to get on eventually. But it was from a Ubisoft exec. But the interesting thing about it is like, all right, listen, there's no way he's this stupid, okay? Like his pitch that he's trying to make about it, like I feel like that's his easy way of still trying to nudge people in that direction, you know? Because there's no way you're this stupid where this is what you actually believe. Because like the main point of his pitch is like almost as if he fully believes that gamers are worried about their progress not being saved. Because that was one thing he really detailed was just like, you know, it's all going to get saved onto like a cloud or whatever. It's like your progress will be saved. You don't have to have physical media to have your like you do not actually believe this. There's no way. You're just saying that to try to continue to make the conversation easier and to try to like nudge people further because there's just no way you actually believe that.
See, I read this whenever you put it up and I was very confused by it because it was emphasizing on that. I was like,
yeah, see what I mean?
I was just like,
I'm glad you read it because like it was so hard emphasis on your progress is going to be saved, you know, you're going to be good.
So when I read it initially, you know what it kind of reminds me of? It reminds me of remember when the Xbox One was coming out?
Oh yeah,
and they were talking about you'll always be connected.
Yep,
and
you can't have used games, stuff like that.
Where it's like they're talking about you always online, this, and then people start pushing back on it, and their response is, no, you're gonna love it.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
It's like the reading through this is the same thing that we heard for all of that leading up to the Xbox One. All that conversation of that, it's the same thing. It's just going. It's like I understand what you want to say. You're not saying it.
Yeah, no, exactly. The big line that came out of this that really made all the headlines was him saying, and it was his quote, is that people need to get comfortable not owning their games. That was the big line that came out of this. And I don't think there's anyone that can fully get comfortable behind it. I mean, like in a case like, you know, you've talked about this, because unfortunately the whole digital thing is a conversation we've talked about at length on multiple episodes, right? And you've talked about this where you've accepted there's a possibility someday down the line you may not have a game or two of things. Yeah, some people have accepted that, but there's a lot of players that aren't wrapping their head around the idea of like the digital age because they don't want to lose the game later on. And I that's totally fair. Totally fair.
Hell, I wouldn't know if they took a game away from me unless I was specifically going to look for it at this point. Because when I go to my digital library, I've been buying games digital for so long.
Yeah.
That it's like it's a massive list. So it's like I start scrolling through it and I'm like it's like I've had the thought recently scrolling through where I go, did I buy that game or did I buy it digitally or did I have a physical copy of it? Because I don't see it in my library. The other annoying thing is in this generation, since everything's backward compatible, sometimes you have to go into a different fucking search option to find a previous generation game.
Yep, true. One thing that Andy said that made me laugh just now, and it's in reference to like him trying to say, oh, you're going to have your save progress. You're going to, you know, that whole thing, right? Andy said, you know that one episode of Ned's Declassified where they play dodgeball and the tactics to throw a ball up into the air so everyone looks at it and you pelt them in the gut? That's this. That's a good comparison. That's true. That's a great way to put this. That's essentially what he's trying to do. Now, one thing that he did say that I read it and I'm just like, all right. I'll give you a point. You got a good point. Is that like people have become more accustomed to this whole, you know, no physical media in terms of like DVDs and CDs.
Yeah.
I'll give them a point in the W column for that one because even I've gotten comfortable with that. Are there still movies that I like to purchase the Blu-ray for? Yes, but it's only ones that I really love. You know, I'm not going out and buying movies like I am buying games. And in terms of like, you can just stream music everywhere. Like, you know, I don't remember the last time I bought music. So I will give him a W in that column. That's a fair point because like he further kind of said, it's like when it comes to gaming, it's just like we're not there yet. It's like people aren't ready to accept that yet, of where, you know, everything is going to that digital streaming age.
Yeah.
And again, feeling comfortable with not owning your game. But that's the thing. Shut up, John. You're part of the problem.
I'm the anomaly in this situation.
John's over
like,
here being a poster boy.
We're like,
you're part of the problem.
we're like, in the early days of like trying to sell digital copies, where they're like, we'll give you a digital deluxe edition if you bought it.
Yeah.
And it was like, you actually got useful stuff for it. And
Yeah.
it wasn't just an excuse to sell you, or to like sell you extra stuff that no one else is going to be able to buy, like selling you power, basically, like I've complained about before with like Spider-Man and games like that, where they use the digital deluxe as just a way to sell what should be base game features.
Yeah.
It used to be, we want to try to sell digital copies, we'll give you something cool
Yeah.
if you buy it. And that's kind of where I started buying digital copies from, because I was like, I'm gonna buy it regardless. If I get something cool for the same thing over here, I'm gonna do that.
See, the unfortunate part is I am a little bit of I fall into that category as well, because it depending on the game, I also will get like Spider-Man I did, because I wanted the suits. I wanted the suits, and then also for games like, all right, so one's off the top of the dome that gave you like an exclusive advantage to some capacity. Spider-Man with the suits, Hogwarts Legacy getting the game like 3 days early or something like that. But then others for me, Horizon, Mass Effect Legendary Edition, like all 4 of those games are games where it's like, I want to play this immediately. You know, so I want to be able to play this at 11 o'clock our time. Yeah. So like that's where I did buy digital in those cases. Right. Unfortunately, it kills me on the inside.
That's the thing. It's like, because that's why I started buying games digitally, and why I got so accustomed to it was because they were trying to create the market and sell it to where it was, so that they could get to where they are now.
Yep.
But the problem is, I hate where we're at now, because now we're selling base game features as digital deluxe editions, where before digital deluxe editions were something special.
Yeah, something actually cool and special.
So it's like, now I hate the fact that I buy games digitally, but I'm not going to start buying them physically now, because now I don't have to go looking for a game when I want to do it. I just scroll through my library and select it.
Yeah.
That's the most convenient thing. I can't get away from that now.
Yeah, once you're in, you're in. Yeah. Is basically what you're saying.
Yeah, it's like I'm into it now. I don't want to go back and I don't want to go back and buy the games again, or start buying games now, because then it's just going to be confusing which ones I have digitally or physically. At least now I know, for the past 5 years, every game I bought besides the Nintendo Switch has been a physical or a digital game.
Yeah.
This is a great thing to hear you say, John, versus an earlier conversation I slightly had with Alex earlier this week, and where with Persona 3 Reloaded.
Oh,
it's
you
coming out.
pissed me off with those texts. Pissed me off so bad with those messages. That's why I didn't respond, because you made me so violently angry.
This is going to be a Zach moment of me and my skewed view on money. So I texted him.
It's gonna make me mad too. Isn't it?
Oh, it
Probably.
is. It is. I promise you. Can I just tell it?
Sure, you go for it.
Yes, this is what happened to me. So he hits me up wanting to buy Persona 3 Reload, the collector's edition. It's $200, right? 200? Is that right?
Yep.
Okay. Fair. He's a big Persona fan. He's got like every Persona going back to the original 2. Fair to want that. All right. But here's his he's looking at 3 different options to buy this fucking game. All right. He's either looking at buying Persona 3 Reload, which, keep in mind, comes with a physical copy, which, shout Atlas on that. You know, let's get away from the whole collector's edition not having a physical game.
I will agree with that. Collector's editions should come with a physical game.
But the thing is, keep in mind, he has an Xbox Series S. Yeah. So he's thinking about buying the collector's edition and then buying a digital version of Persona 3 Reload. Or his other 2 options: buy the collector's edition and buy an Xbox Series X, or buy a PlayStation 5 and buy the collector's edition. And so he's like looking at dishing out like $800 he's willing to just throw out just to get this collector's edition, or even buying the game twice. I'm just like, I'm not responding to this. Like I read all this, I'm like, fuck this guy. I'm not responding to this.
He did respond once. He went, "You bought a PS5 edition? You don't have a PS5?"
No, because the original message, I thought that's what it said.
Yes, I could see that.
Where I thought he bought the PS5 edition and not having a PS5. So I was just like, what?
Yeah, but I've done that. Because I bought what was it, the last God of War game that they made for PS3 when I didn't have a PS3.
That's true.
And I just went to his house to play it.
Yeah. So those messages made me so mad that the dude's willing to drop a casual 800. Like, let me just get a new console in the collection edition.
It's like, I could buy the collector's edition and then just buy the digital version of
and
the
save
game.
money. I mean, you're still spending a lot. But
It's like, then I'm spending like
route.
300 after tax and everything.
Yeah.
Or, fucking 800.
Let's just buy another Xbox.
Why stop there? Let's just drop $1,000 and get a cool controller with it too.
Yeah, why not? Hey, they do have a Razer P3R controller, so you can get that.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I saw it earlier. They're doing you may want to go look at it. They're doing like a little sweepstakes thing to win it or something. So yeah, there's a Razer Persona 3 Reload controller.
So this is just a skewed Zach money moment.
Yeah, it is. It is. Like, I'm telling you, I saw these messages and I'm like, I'm not responding.
This is what happens when you don't like give a shit about spending money on anything else, and you're just like, I don't spend it anywhere else. What am I gonna do with it?
Yeah, it's like, I guess I'm just gonna go buy another console.
You know what's fucking great about this too, Alex? I didn't even message you because you weren't messaging me back. But I later that day went, oh fuck, it comes on Game Pass.
So he literally could just buy the collection just and just play it on Game Pass. God, you make me so mad. You made me so mad.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna play it on Game Pass.
I mean, I'm playing it on Game Pass. I want to buy it, and I plan to buy it eventually, but I'm gonna save a little money right now and just play it on Game Pass.
Let me rephrase that. I'm not gonna play this game, but I would probably play it on Game Pass.
That's the better way to put it. Yeah. No, I'm gonna hit it up on Game Pass. Is what I plan to do. Hopefully, I mean,
I was gonna buy Power or just play Power on Game Pass.
Yeah.
Because I was like, it's Zach. It's like Zach says he's gonna buy it, but maybe I talk him into just download it on Game Pass or something to play with me.
That was never even a possibility, John.
If you wanted to play with me bad enough, it would have been. But it was like, I was like, maybe I could, and then like I said, I woke up that morning. It's just bang, 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 and I'm like, God damn, everyone bought it on Steam. I guess I'm buying it.
I'm slightly curious, John. Was mine the first or no?
No.
Okay.
You weren't the first.
Unfortunate. What? Oh yeah, Ubisoft thing.
Yeah.
Bottom line, I don't like this guy.
Bottom line, he's trying to get people comfortable and to the point where I am at with digital games.
I don't think I'll ever get comfortable.
But the idea,
I'll accept it when I have to.
The idea is to try to get people.
Fuck that.
I mean, like, look, dude, when it comes like the next generation of gaming and I literally don't have a choice to get physical games because Xbox and PlayStation moved away from it, I guess I'll accept it, but very begrudgingly.
Yeah. The whole idea behind the thought is to try to get people at least a little bit closer to where I have been with games for a while now.
Yep.
The way he went about it, it's fucking asinine.
Yeah, it's stupid. Your progress is going to be saved no matter what. Yeah, we've known that for a while now, okay? It's been like that for a hot minute. Jesus Christ.
But yeah, it's fucking dumb.
Yeah, it is. Anyway, ready to hit the weekly wrap-up, or you guys got anything else?
I mean, I don't got anything else major.
Okay, because the next thing would be
the Pow World came out.
We went an hour with Pow World. I mean, we can go into
that. All right.
If you haven't heard about it.
Yeah, if you haven't heard about Pow World, it's a really good game. You should play it.